EAGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational.
He's gone for a little extra.
Really powering up here.
There's something about a well-hit shot. Smoked that one.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. And with that birdie, moves into second place. Relatively short par 4, second hole. Frank, what's the right play off the tee here? It's probably not driver.
It certainly isn't. You need a decent yardage in for your second shot, so you don't really want to hit it past those last of the 6 bunkers on that right side. It leaves a shot of 100, 110 yards. There's another tee box a little further up where they can make it like drivable at 265 yards, but for such a short hole, this is sort of a fearsome one. You always feel like you're making a mistake when you're putting the ball on the tee.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
And with that birdie, moves into a tie for the lead.
We've got ourselves a battle right now, Rich.
Moving on to the third hole now. Again, it's a par 4 of 428 yards, but you can see the distinctive bunkering on the left, making this, Frank, one of the most famous holes in golf.
The church pews that adorn the left side, they're no fun to be in, that's for sure, because somehow, invariably, you always seem to get behind one of those grass strips behind, and all you're left to do is punch out. Not just that, too. The amount of bunkers on that right side really narrowed that down. Now, this tee shot plays downhill, and then you've got to be ready for that uphill second shot.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. Anything you change in your technique when a ball's sitting down a little bit?
Yeah, you put the ball back a little bit further in your stance because you're going to get a bit of grass between the ball and the club face. So you have to allow for that. And keep that club moving. That grass is going to be that grass is going to create a certain amount of resistance.
Frank, not close, but from that line, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. It's no snack, though.
Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is,
So, hanging in down the stretch with a par. We have already begun. Let's pick up with the action at hole number 4. As we catch up with today's featured golfer, we have already seen some excellent play. Frank, what are some of the keys to keeping this early momentum?
Basically just trying to do the same things. We're seeing good driving, good approach play, and very good speed on the green right now. Keep doing the same thing.
Good tee shot right in the short grass. Here we go, ready for the second shot at the 4th hole. Seems to like it. headed for the fat part of the green. Safely aboard. And getting ready for the putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Watches that one go in as well to get to -3. Take you up now to the fifth hole, 382-yard par 4. Frank, what do you think of the fifth?
An excellent tee shot is required here with just a long iron. Even something as short as a 4-iron is fine because the hole's not overly long. If you can bisect the bunkers on both sides, that's the key there. Second shot's going to be a little downhill. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. So that sets up a tougher second shot, missing the fairway with the drive, now in the rough. Second shot away. Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Keeps the momentum going with that putt. Stays at 3 under. And now to the par 3 sixth here at Oakmont, measuring in at just under 200 yards. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
So in the first cut here, it could be worse. And he's made the green. Settles in over the putt. How does that not go in?
Amazing. Stroke looked good. Line looked good. Just did not take that final break.
Well, not going to make par here. He needs this to only give up 1. Bad news is, Frank, that's a bogey, but the good news, still has the lead.
Can't afford another, though.
So through one round, Frank, our leader really put on a good show today.
They certainly did, Rich. It was truly a great performance, especially from tee to green. It's not easy to come out of the gates like that.
EAC Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational. It is one of the most difficult golf courses in the United States, Oakmont Country Club, outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo, who was a part of that dramatic U.S. Open in 1994 at Oakmont, ultimately won by Ernie Els. Frank, when you think of Oakmont, what comes to mind?
The difficulty of the golf course, Rich. I know a lot's changed over the last 20 or so years. A lot of the trees are being removed. But really, that wasn't the story of Oakmont. It's the slick greens, how firm and fast they can be. The members there, for example, they marvel at the fact that people think they're fast. They say we putt on these greens every single day, and they're certainly no slower. But it's the bunkering as well. There's 210 bunkers here. They're all in play. And it just has that history. When you step on Oakmont, you just know you are walking on not one of the great courses in North America, but one of the great courses in golf. I've seen some long tee shots, but it's the advantage to tee that ball up, get it up there quickly, get the wind behind you. It's amazing how far you can hit it.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. And as he strides up here to the 12th green, having hit it in regulation, he knows now that his work is by no means done. A long putt coming up. That's a nice lag putt. Frank, what would you focus on a long putt?
That 3-foot circle, obviously you allow yourself a little bit more the further and further away you get, but just expectations, lower them a little bit. There's certain distances, just take two.
Count that for a birdie. All right, Frank, at the par 3 13th at 183 yards, what do you see here?
Well, there's a lot of things to consider, but the general slope of this green really makes you either hit to a specific section on the green or just try and keep the ball below the hole. It's always easy to putt uphill on fast greens.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Wow, I thought he made that. Came to the putt excited to make birdie. Now, settle for par.
Yeah, a little change in the attitude right now. When you've let one go, you've got to really knuckle down there and make sure you don't drop a shot. It's important this one goes in.
Good putt. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at the 14th hole at Oakmont Country Club. Frank, it's only 358 yards. How good is the scoring opportunity here?
This is certainly one of the best chances on the back nine here for birdie. That's for sure, Rich. Just a long iron off the tee there, threaded in between bunkers that adorn both sides of this fairway. To set up to what you would say on Oakmont standards is a relatively gentle green.
Wouldn't call it a great approach shot, but it still ends up in the fringe.
A little bit of magic from here. It's hole's not over.
All right, Frank, just on the fringe, he might be thinking about making this.
Yeah, he's a better chipper than you, Rich.
Midway through this back nine, could use this birdie here at the 14th. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. He's made it. Here at the 15th, a long par 4 at 499 yards. Frank, what are you looking to do off the tee?
Tee shot here is very similar to the one back at the par 5, where the fairway slopes left to right. And then the second shot's going to be uphill to a green that's actually built in the opposite direction. This is a tough par 4.
Always makes the hole easier, playing it from the fairway. Well, the drama's starting to build here. 15th hole, the approach shot, Frank. This is a time to be buttoned up and dialed in.
That's for sure. And this second shot would be so much easier if they had just removed one little bunker. And that's that one short left, because that's where you would like to land that second shot. Because that bunker's there, you've just got to somehow avoid it by a yard or two, whether it's over it or to the right of it.
Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. EAC Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today it's live third-round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational. And hello again and welcome, Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're at Oakmont Country Club in western Pennsylvania. Frank, the site of so many historic moments. Great players have made their mark here. Sam Snead, Ben Hogan, Jack Nicklaus, Ernie Els, a long and distinguished list.
Oakmont, if it's not the most difficult golf course in North America, Rich, it's certainly one of the most difficult golf courses. With its 210 bunkers, really personified by the church pews, the hard and slick greens that slope away from the player and the tight fairways, this golf course always requires the utmost precision.
This is a good-looking shot. That was just a gutsy shot right there, and a good look at eagle coming up. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Inexcusable.
Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Just playing excellent golf. 5 under for the tournament. We're at the fifth hole now. Short hole, but Frank, pretty challenging even at 382 yards.
Yeah, you've got the bunkers are staggered. The first three coming down the left side, and then they start to link up with the ones on the right side that just sort of narrow this fairway up. It just sort of changes the strategy. But if you can just sort of thread an iron up there, that's the main thing. Because this green is going to be very narrow in the front and then slope away to the player's left. Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle-nosed down.
Can't even see it from here. Just in the first cut of rough, not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here.
Our computer gives us 23 feet, Rich.
But he's going for back-to-back birdies here, trying to jumpstart this round.
Some momentum moving in the right direction.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. And he makes it for par. Frank, what's the pros' take on the first par 3 here at Oakmont, the 6th, at just under 200 yards?
Oh, it's a real beauty. Very narrow in the front. You can see how it pinches in so close. It starts to widen up, but even to try and carry that bunker on the right side, there's very few players in the world that could hit it that high and manage to stop the ball in that corner. Once again, you're trying to thread it through that avenue at the front of this green. It's a tough par 3.
Don't want to miss it right here.
No.
A great roll right there. Just a pure stroke right in the heart. The par 4 7th, 434 yards.
He goes after it like he is here.
Wow, what impact. Crushed it.
That's an absolute beauty.
Second shot here at the par 4 7th.
Should be safely on deck.
This has been just a pure display of ball striking all day long. Has not missed a single green. Every one in regulation. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Here at the 8th at Oakmont, a famous hole. And Frank, it's not often we say of a par 3 that it is a beast, but the 8th at Oakmont is just that.
Yeah, you can imagine a 300-yard par 3 to a flat green. That would be hard enough. But imagine a 300-yard par 3 at a US Open to a green that goes up at the front and then crowns at the top and then slips away at both sides. That's the 8th hole.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
Yeah, you wonder what he's thinking on that.
Well, bunker play is really about technique and feel. The two greatest ever are probably Gary Player and Seve Ballesteros. Seve actually was so good, he was so skilled, that he could open up a 3-iron. That's right, a 3-iron on a short bunker shot from a greenside bunker and splash it to a couple of feet as if he had just used a 60-degree sand wedge. Amazing. And he's made it onto the green now. Well, considering the lead that he has on the rest of the field, a par is all you need. There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
The PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Pittsburgh Invitational.
Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that?
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
He'll need to be strong with this. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. And he has it for birdie. Yet another demanding hole here at Oakmont. A par 3 16th, 231-yard par 3. Frank calls for a well-struck long iron.
It certainly does. It's going to favor something that's hit a little higher and a little softer. If you could just mentally cut this green in half and just sort of look at the left half of this green, that's really the best way to play this hole. And the reason why is the general contours all move to the right. That ball can still funnel down to the right side of the green.
Almost. Wow. Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Simple, solid, and he'll take it.
But one that you need to make.
Frank, here we are at the 17th. It's only 313 yards. That's par 4, by the way. Nowadays, that could be a par 3. What's the right way to play this hole, or does it simply depend on where you are in the championship?
I think it depends on where you are in the championship. Sometimes people try and hit drivers at drivable par 4s. Believe it or not necessarily to make birdie, but it's the easiest option to make 4. One of the problems here at 17, if you do lay it up and the flag is on the right side, you turn it into a very, very difficult short par 4. And that's the reason why people often try and drive these greens.
On the green, and a chance for birdie.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
This is where so many of the legends, from Hogan to Nicklaus to Miller to Els, made their imprint. And don't forget about Angel Cabrera, the last time the U.S. Open was played here. The 18th hole, the clubhouse straight ahead. What a view, and what a moment in the championship. Nice drive, right in the fairway, and a good swing on that one. Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
should be pretty good right there. We're on the safe side.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
Just a couple of feet.
Putting up some impressive numbers out here now. 9 under for the tournament.
Rich, it came down to just a shot or two here or there, but we were treated some amazing golf this week.
Just one player standing, and that was earned, well-deserved, beautifully played. EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the start of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live opening round coverage of the Northeast Invitational.
Oh, I liked that.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Well, Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. And setting up here in the rough. Putting all of his talents on display here from the rough, and he knocks it really close. Beautiful shot. Still even par for the day. Checking in on the action now. Let's go down to the 6th. Frank, when you get out of the gates, as our featured golfer has done, with a lot of pars, steady play, what's the mindset?
You've got to keep doing that, Rich. Just maybe get a little closer to the hole, drive a little bit better, work on the pace of the putting. Just little gains, and then all of a sudden you're going to notice a big difference in the scorecard.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. That will be a great look at birdie.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus.
You can see why this player has been compared to a young Rory McIlroy. Featured golfer making birdie and now sitting comfortably inside that cut line. Not quite what he was hoping for. The tee shot in the bunker. Digs in, ready for the bunker shot.
Yeah, second shot here. Just try and aim a little bit behind that ball, an inch or two.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Now that is a shot that will be replayed over and over. Well, a bit unusual. A third par 3 now on this front side. We're at the 8th. It's 165 yards, Frank.
And this par 3 looks nothing like the previous two. Heads towards the edge of the cliff there. Long green, almost a figure 8 or an hourglass shape. Bunkers left and right. Going to have to be straight here.
Headed for the bunker? A bit unfortunate. In the bunker, Frank.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what his bunker play's like.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Great shot coming out of that bunker right there.
Showing some skills today.
Locked in on the read and the speed.
That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. We move to the 9th hole, and we begin to go inland, Frank. I'll miss some of the views along the ocean. I won't miss the nerves with the potential of a golf ball sailing off into the Atlantic Ocean. That said, par 5, you think about a scoring opportunity, but then I look at the scorecard.
Oh, he's winding this one up. Doesn't have the power, though.
He makes a great pass at the golf ball. It's powerful, but it's rhythmic at the same time.
Oh, huge. Huge with a capital H.
Busted that. That is just a beautiful shot.
Well, with a good shot here, Rich. This eagle on the cards. Hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. Couldn't have done much better than that. An eagle is very possible.
So a tester from 4 feet. You have to like that. 4 under.
There you have it, Frank. First round is complete. What are your thoughts, partner?
Rich, I think anyone inside the current top 10 of that leaderboard is certainly well placed to go on and take this championship.